Jason Beasley is a registered sex offender. When he was 23, he was convicted of the statutory rape of a 15-year-old girl.
I didn't do it, but I know a lot of people probably say that.
After spending 14 months in prison, he moved back in with his parents. But he was recently forced to move again when California's Jessica's Law went into effect, which says paroled sex offenders cannot live within 2,000 feet of a school or park.
I didn't like it. I mean, I was doing good. I was comfortable. I was with my family. I was able to, put money away and saving up money. And then when they came out with this, told me I had to move out, and I couldn't even afford to move out at the time, so my parents had to pay for me to get into this place.
But at least Beasley was able to find housing. Many California cities are so densely populated that it's virtually impossible for sex offenders to find a compliant home.
There are still enormous parts of the legislation that are somewhat unclear at this point. Things as simple as defining the term "a park where children congregate" is going to be something that needs to be clarified.
This registered sex offender, who asked not to be identified, says the law has forced him to live in the streets. Parole agents monitor his movement with a GPS device strapped to his ankle.
Downtown Oakland, which is the center of my resources for the moment, is dotted with schools. That limits my possibilities. Financial considerations further limit those possibilities.
But the author of California's law has little sympathy for sex offenders.
When the voters voted for this, they decided that they didn't want a child molester to live across the street from a school. And that's and if that means that in some areas that needs to be 1,000 feet or 1,500 feet, then I think that we still accomplish what it is the voters wanted, and we just need to come back and figure out how to then apply that successfully.
Even the sex offenders we spoke to say they still support the law's intent.
Jessica's Law, as restrictive as it is the only way to address public safety.
I think it's a good law. Some people need it, but I think it was kind of poorly implemented.
The state Supreme Court is weighing whether the law is so vague as to be unenforceable, and whether it unfairly punishes offenders after they've already completed their prison terms. Haven Daily, The Associated Press.